Hello, Akku here again. Welcome to episode 37 of my Beginner's Guide, Feed the Beast. Now, unfortunately, it's going to be another bee-type episode because there's some important stuff I still need to show you. I don't want to do too much on bees, but it's at the stage where I'm doing a lot of bee breeding, and there's some things that I need to really let you know. I should let you know. If I don't let you know, I'm slacking a bit. Before we start though, as I've said before, this thing here shows you if it's night or day, which is quite useful. I made this thing as well. This is two vanilla things. It's a frame and a clock. What it does, it shows you what time of day it is by, you see it's just gone dusk. This is going round clockwise. You see it's getting to night. When that's right at the top there, it'll be midnight. When that bit there be right at the top, it'll be midday. Now, this is quite useful. If you're in somewhere where you can't actually see if it's dark, so if you're caving, it's quite useful. You don't want to, if you don't want to carry a clock around, you can put it in a picture frame. Let's just first look at the frame. Now the frame is real straightforward. This is vanilla. Bit of leather with some sticks gets you an item frame. And you can put that on the wall. You can put anything into that. I could, oops, right click turns it round. But I could take that off. And where'd it go? Where'd you go, frame? Oh, for God's sake! What's that? Did it go through the? You go through there, what we're noticing. You can put anything in there. I could put my bee ladder in there, for example. Let's oh shit. Come on, idiot. I can put a bee ladder in there. Look, there you go. Have a nice bee ladder in a frame. But I put a clock in there. When you ain't got a clock in a frame, it's in your inventory, and it shows the time in your inventory. But you don't even need to do that. You can. You put in clock. Now, clock's real straightforward. It's 4 bits of gold on a bit of redstone. But if you look there, the clock in your eye actually shows you the right time. So if you ever need to know what time of day it is and you're underground, just type in clock in your eye. It's a bit cheaty, maybe, but you can see that it's night time. So if asleep, you can see the clock in a different way. Let's say this is real basic vanilla stuff. But, there you go. You see the clock spun round morning time, so it shows it in any eye as well. So that's quite useful. I made a couple then just because I like to know what time of day it is. Right. So, bee breeding. Now, what I want to do in this episode is I want to set up a router system for this, which it works really good for bees, but it's not just for bees. Routers are really good. Factorization routers, or routers, if you don't understand what I'm saying when I say router. Really good for getting things into multiple inventories. So I've been manually putting frames in here, and the reason why is, let's have a look at this bee, for example. Every time this bee ticks, so every 27.5 seconds, I've got 4 frame housings in each of these. Every time this ticks, I'm going to have to wait up to 20 odd seconds here. It shouldn't have to wait too long though. There we go. Every time this ticks, this is producing products and specialty products, because each frame increases the chance of it producing every tick. And 4 frames in each is enough to get maximum out of these, so that they're producing every single tick. You're going to get both honeycombs and royal jelly or pollen. So we really want to get frames into these. So most of this episode is going to be about making a router, a factorization router, and setting it up to put frames into our alveoles automatically. You can see I've got 3 now. I've got one with Imperial, one with Industrious, one with Cultivated. I've done a bit of bee breeding off camera. So I've got quite a few bees in here that you didn't see before. I've Ancient, Primeval, Prehistoric and Relic. So I've got up to Relic, and Relic bees have the longest lifespan. Now I was lucky enough to pull that longest lifespan off. What I've been doing is I get the bees bred, and then I run them with the maximum fertility serum in here to give them so that they get 4 children. Then I'll run them for just 1 cycle in one of the apiaries down there. So I end up with 1 princess and 4 drones, and then I use the drones to get the serums out of. And like in this case, I didn't actually lose a drone. I managed to get both the actual relic species is downstairs in the synthesizer getting filled up. I managed to get longest lifespan and the species serum out of that, and didn't even lose a bee. So that's what I've been doing. See, I've got quite a few of these. I've got 2 fiendish drones. I've got Sinister, only 1. But I've been doing quite well. I've been pretty lucky with my bees. So I've got them. What else have we got? So that's that land there. And the reason why I wanted that was because The relic there is the longest lifespan. So my bees outside now, I've given that to them. So if we look at one of these bees and BLRs it real quick, you'll see that that's what I want. Where'd that sound come from? Look at that, it's got the longest lifespan. So longest lifespan doesn't matter that much, but of course the longer it is in the hive, every tick it's producing over a few hours, if it lasts longer, it's got to cycle through less. So you get a little bit more productivity out of it. So I always add it when I can be bothered to get to it. Again, this one I want shortest lifespan, which I haven't actually got yet. Shortest lifespan, I've got it on this common drone, see it there, shortest life. But I'm going to breed that common drone with that forest princess at some point, just to get a pure stats cultivated, because cultivated pure stats has the shortest lifespan. I just want that one there, because that's job there is only to produce drones, really, and beeswax, but we'll get plenty of beeswax and other stuff soon. So that's why I've got them in my bag. But I've been doing a little bit. I've got oily drones as well. Oily princess, oily drone. That was quite straightforward. That was Primeval, which we used for the. That's where I've got the sound from, idiot. Of course it is. I've pulled it off there. Primeval, which was one of the bees to get towards relic. It was ancient, then Primeval. That with a modest bee gets us an oily bee. So I've got the oily bee. The next path with that is oily and industrious. We'll get it to distilled, which produces oil combs, and then refined, oily, and dist. Which one's dist? Dist is dist. Is it dist? Oh, distilled. Idiot. Oily and distilled. That one and that one together. Will get us the refined, which is fuel and biofuel. So we'll be able to run the boiler of fuel then, which is pretty cool. But what else I've been doing is, if I went up on the roof there, you see that the alvery is not there, because at the minute the alvery is in the nether. I moved it. So I brought this into here. Now this is just the same alvery that was up on the roof. I moved it in here near our nether fortress. I put them little spot loaders there, and I've got some nether wart next to it, because we're going up the demonic path. And this is for a reason. Something I want to show you. So Fiendish and Sinister. Sinister is and these are by the way. You see I'm using an eye vendor there. I'll explain that in a second. These have got an effect on my hair, so I can't get too close. You see, if I get close, I'll start taking damage. This path's pretty straightforward. I think I had it written on the wall in the other place. So we'll go look at that. I put a clock there as well, just so I can see what time of day it is. See, it's midday just gone. The Infernal branch, that's what that's called. Sinister is modest and cultivated. Modest is your hard bee from the desert again. Fiendish is a sinister and a cultivated, and then demonic is a sinister and a fiendish, which you just see me put into the alvery there. And the reason why I've used an eye of ender is because the base chance for that is 25%, and we've been using mostly uranium, which has got a 10 times multiplier. Well, an eye of ender's got a 4 times multiplier, and of course 4 times 25% is 100%, so the eye of ender is all we need for that, to get us a guaranteed mutation into a demonic. And that's part of why I want to film now and show you this, is because a demonic won't work here in the overworld. It needs something else. I'm making demonic because it gives us glowstone, and I'm getting quite low on glowstone, so I had to get on with it. I've got 73 there. I could go man in it, but if we can get it free from bees, might as well get it from bees. Now, the reason why I'm doing this now, right, well, I need to turn a blaze spawner on, because I need a good couple of stacks of blaze rods. I'll turn that on. You'll see now under the... Right, this is an issue. I need to start these up again, because I've stopped the server. If I knew more about these, then they would turn himself on when when I load the game up. You can set it so the start button start up, but I didn't have it set. So I've just got each time I turn the game off, because I'm playing single player. Each time I turn it off, I have to restart that. That's just got a Tesseract under there. And like I said I was going to do, I changed the Tesseract as ME in, so they're all running the same now. Set fire to me, asshole. I moved this around a bit as well, like I said I was going to. So we still got our control here, it works quite nice. I'm getting sidetracked a bit, but I'll mention it really quick. Where have we gone? There it is. As you can see, I did some more lasers as well. When that was there yesterday, I think, just to speed up creation of some more target gates. I had a few stocked up. You can make them. They're quite. Once you've got to this stage, you can make them quite easy. Just add a few more, speed things up a bit. So if we look at that now, that actually takes, when it's running at max. Okay, to make one of them. When it's running at max, it's pulling 50 MJ a tick now. So that's pretty quick. So I've got a few things stocked up in there. Right, this thing here, pretty straightforward. So our ME interface, I had the Tesseract right next to it, but I wanted a visual indication that things were coming through it. So I just moved it across one and put a gold pipe there so I can actually see things coming in. So you can see there's plenty of cobble coming in, and you can see B stuff coming by there as well. Some obsidian there, the blaze rod. If we waited long enough, we'd see B stuff coming through as well. So everything into the ME. There you go, some honeycombs. Everything coming into this network is coming in through that there. And then we've just got the same thing on here still. If this gets full, the only way this will get full is if all these are full. So if every one of these got full, and the chest up there, the ME chest got full, then this would fill up. And that being full, it'd set off the alarm, inventory full, redstone signal. It'd set off the alarm. It'd set this to in on this jacketed cable, and that's set to enable load. So that 10, that off. If you remember our quarry, it's set so that it's looking for an active link on the Tesseract, so it'll turn the quarry off. All the other stuff will still come in and spill, like the BRs and stuff, but it would stop the quarry. So I'd lose stuff that I can, without adding more control onto the alveries and stuff, I'd lose stuff that I've got a constant supply of. So for example, I'd lose blaze rods, but I could just turn the blaze spawner back on. I'd lose bee stuff, but I can get that back again. The quarry, I don't want to be chucking loads of quarry stuff away, so it'll turn the quarry off. So I've managed to maintain the control, and I moved that up there. You can see that. Just cobbled there and fence posts in there, because we're getting loads of fence posts from the abandoned mine it was going through, but loads of stuff there to add when I want to start binning more stuff. So that's all good. And what was I talking about down here? I was getting blaze rods, that's right. So what we need to do with the demonic bee, once we've got it, to make it work in the overworld, we need to start pulverizing blaze rods. Pulverizing blaze rods will give us loads of blaze powder, and we'll need, oops, not that, broke the wrong thing there, sorry, let's put that back. We need power to this guy, or a climatizer. So we're getting pretty tight on everything here. Let's squeeze that in there. That's got power now. That runs at only 2.5 MJ a tick. What we need to do with this, now this can take, you can be real lucky or you can be unlucky. It could take a couple of cycles, it could take loads. So what we need to do is we need our bee. We're trying to breed. How's that going? Quite long. Okay, I'm going to cut the camera, come back when this is nearly done, and we'll carry on then. Back in a bit. So back we are, and I've been a bit busy. I've been doing a couple of things. I've got us the blaze powder out of that pulverizer, so I've got 4 stacks of blaze powder, and I brought the next bees I'm going to be breeding. Well, I've got the alvery here in the nether. There's another line of bees I want to breed. It's the Austere bee, A-U-S-T-E-R-E, and that starts off with a modest and a sinister. There we go, demonic, wonderful, we've got our demonic bees. And simmering comb, and I'll talk to you about them in a second as well. So just before we go, I'm going to put a sinister and a modest in there, and I use a serum to make the sinister princess there, because we didn't have one. And I'll just use one uranium ore, because this has got a 16% chance of creating the first in the Austere line, which name I forget. Let's go and quickly look what the name of that was. What we're creating there is that one, frugal, modest and sinister. Should give it a frugal. That's what we're going for there. Right, while I'm here, I just want to show you something real quick as well. My quarry is getting quite low, and if you're looking at it at the minute when the well decides to load in, see it's full of water. Now what this does, it stops lava being a problem. Lava gets to be a problem down the bottom of your quarries. What I do generally when my quarry gets to about level 20, This is around level 20. I put 1 bucket of water right in the middle of the quarry. And what happens is, as the quarry gets quarried out around it, that'll spread out, and then once the quarry finishes, once it's down at bedrock like this bit is, all you've got to do is pick up that 1 block of water there with a bucket, and if there was no other water further down, it should all drain out. There may be water lower down that you might have to get rid of, but that'll clear out all the lava pools, make them into obsidian like you can see there, and it'll dig up the obsidian for you rather than you getting stuck with loads of lava blocks in your bottom of your quarry. Yeah, that's what I'll show you that. I like to get my quarries fully clean down to bedrock like that. That's one of the things I like about Feed the Beast Ultimate, is that it's got the flat bedrock mod, which gives you a nice flat bedrock at the bottom. Makes your quarries nice and tidy. Right, so we've got our demonic bee. Let's have a look at it. Demonic bee. There we go. Effects flammable. Well, we want rid of that, so I'd use my effect cancellation thing. But what's it got? No, well, flowers nether. That's nether wart. We can deal with that in a bit. We can make that into flowers. We can get rid of the effects. But look here though. Temperature tolerance hellish, which is the hottest possible, down 2. So arid 0. So we need to get this sorted out. Hellish down 2. Now I think where normal covers that, does it? Or does it not? Let's have a look in here. Demonic. Where are you, demonic? There you are. Let's look at the climate there. So okay, so down 2. The furthest it can go to is warm. We want it to go to normal. This is normal here. And then the 2 more is cold, and whatever the coldest one is. What's the coldest one? I've got wintry bees, haven't I? Yeah. Icy. Okay, cold and icy. Then normal. And then, so we want to increase this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these as guinea pigs in the acclimatizer. What I'm going to do, this can take quite a lot of doing. I'll put a demonic princess in there, and I'm going to start putting stacks of blaze powder in there. Each time it uses a blaze powder, there's a percentage chance. Like you see the temperature down to, the percentage chance that this is going to up that to above 5. This is a bad way of doing it. That's got down to, I want something above 2. I'm not going to do it on them. Change my mind. Change my mind. I should probably cut the camera and redo this bit, but I'm not going to. I'm going to show you my mistakes, because mistakes are fun. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use a Rocky Princess, because Rocky Princesses start with... Let's get this guy BLR'd. Yep. The Rocky Princess will start with both 2 there. See it on temperature, both 2. What this is going to do is, these blaze powders, gradually, it might take 7 or 8 stacks, it might take just 1 stack, it might take less, because it's a chance on each one of these cycles. There's a chance that above 2 can go to above 3. And that can go all the way to above 5. Once we get to above 5, we can add fertility to this. We can do a drone the same. Get the princess and the drone to above 5. Get the fertility up to 4. Get that pulled off with a serum. You can get a above 5 serum, and then we can add the above 5 to our demonic bee. So we don't actually need them yet. I'm going to put them aside for a while, because we can't run them up here yet. But once we do run them up here, they'll give us a couple of things. They will give us these simmering combs I want to talk to you about in a minute, and every 5.1 minute standard, but obviously quicker if we're running fast, it's going to give us glowstone dust, which is pretty cool. Simmering combs. Let's have a look at a simmering comb. What's this going to do for us? Well, let's bang a couple in there. Now what these give you, they've got a 70% chance of giving you stuff called phosphor. See, we've got a couple of phosphor there, so they should be in here now. There we go, 2 phosphors. So we've got 2 phosphors off that 1B there, and refractory wax. You can make capsules out of that instead of using tin, but the phosphor's the important bit we're looking at here, because what you can do with phosphor is, if we get another squeezer, now I've just made a temporary squeezer here, I'm going to get rid of this again in a second. If I put 2 phosphor in there, with a bit of sand, you can also use dirt or cobble, but that doesn't get you quite as much. Dirt or cobble or sand. Put that in there with sand. What it's going to get us is 2 buckets of lava. Dirt or cobble gets you 1.6 buckets worth, but with sand you get 2 buckets of lava for every 2 phosphor. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's that's a lava source from bees. So them demonic bees give us both lava and glowstone. Pretty good bees to have. But say because of that temperature tolerance, we don't have to go to 5. We could go to 3, and that'll do them. But while I'm doing it, I want to go to 5 anyway, because it's useful to have 5, because then you can run your bees anywhere. We want to get the humidity to 3 as well at some point. Both 3, and then we'll be able to run any kind of humidity anywhere as well. So what I should do is get a couple of capsules, just to there we go. Let's use a couple of them. Well, no point in wasting that. Grab that bit of lava, and then that's this bit of the episode done. And now from this bit on, I'm going to keep putting blaze powder in there, so that goes up, and I'll show you that when it's all done. That ash and wax can go in there for now. They can go in there for now as well. And the rest of this episode, I'm going to concentrate on making a router system, factorization router system. So we're back when I've got some of that in place. Back in a bit. Okay, back for a little bit, and this is proving a little bit more complicated than I expected it to be, but that's no problem. We can sort it out. I just wanted to show you that. That's up to both 4 there. You see now I've used 2.5 stacks just of a blaze powder, and now that'll go to both 5 any time. Could be any tick, could be another 10 stacks away, but we can ignore that for now. So routers, the first thing we need is dark iron, and if you remember, I made this before by placing normal iron blocks on the floor and then using a RAF igniter to set fire to them. I did it up on the roof for making the RAF lamps, if you remember them guys. And same stuff we need for this, factorization, same mod. So I've got the mod isolated there, so you can see all the bits of the mod. Now I was going to make this thing, solar turbine. If you click on it, look, it's deprecated, deprecated for solar boilers and steam turbines. So this is something new to me. This is in this version of the mod pack. I didn't know about this. So I was going to make a steam boiler, because the thing is we need this guy here, crystallizer. The recipe's in the crystallizer. If we take a look, nope. What we're looking at making is we're going to need some of these guys, machine filters, and a machine filter needs this thing called a logic matrix identifier. That needs a logic matrix, and this thing that I've got one of that you loot from chests in dungeons and stuff. No, I've got one of these. What are we looking there for? I've got one of these things. You need to have picked one of these up somewhere along the line. Now, generally people pick one of these up to keep at least one of them. So as long as you've kept one of them, it's alright. If you haven't kept one, you need to go looking for one. You can only get them from chests. So go look in abandoned barns or in I think I got mine from an abandoned man. Thaumcraft chests and stuff have them. Stuff like that. So you're going to need one of them. And that's because what machine filter does, it lets us only talk to certain blocks, and we're going to need that. We really do need that. So we make that in a thing called a crystallizer. Use a water bottle, stone, and an invarium drop. An invarium drop, it says it's a temporary recipe still. That's diamond, gold, and lead. So it's quite expensive stuff, this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make 8 of them. Diamond, gold, what was the other one? Lead, of course it was. So 8 of these invarium drops. And we're going to need some stone and some water. And we're going to need a crystallizer. So let's make the crystallizer. That's nice and straightforward. Crystallizer is just a cold run, a bit of string, and a stick. So a cold run is vanilla. It's just 7 iron. As we've seen when we made one for our Thaumcraft crucible. There's a cold run and then a bit of string and a stick. Easy enough. String, stick. There we go. This is a crystallizer. Next thing we're going to need is we need a furnace heater. That's a couple of lead ingots and some of these insulated coils. Now the lead ingots are straightforward enough. The insulated coils, you can see them there. They're a clay block, which is just 4 bits of clay with some lead ingots around. There's 6 of them, easy enough. And added to our 2 lead ingots that we had there. There's a furnace heater. And then the steam turbine was a bit more complicated. Now, the way it works these days is, as far as I can tell, solar boiler was like the old one. Solar boiler is really easy to make, but you need some mirrors that I forget the name of, reflective mirrors. That's just glass with silver around it. You put them all around the solar boiler, and put them all around that, and that heats up the solar boiler, and you put the steam turbine on top of it, so it sits on top of that thing. But because we've got steam boilers, and I had a quick look on the wiki to try and find out if it all worked the same. Because we've got steam boilers, what we can do is we can just if we put that onto the side of the steam boiler, you'll see it start spinning up. So that's working. That's kind of cool. So all we need to do is put our furnace heater next to that, and that'll heat that up, which is cool. And put our crystallizer next to that, and then that'll work once we've got a varying block. We need some stone and we need some water. So let's go find some stone and some water. Stone. Let's take 16 stone and some water. I think it didn't use the water up, if I remember right. I'll show you how to make the solar turbine in just a minute. So as long as we've got stone in there and water in there, okay, you see that's filling up, that's starting to fill. This takes 20 minutes if it hasn't changed, and what you'll see is you'll see a little bit of string down there. You can't really see because we're kind of pinned in down here, but let's open this side up a little bit so we can see it. There we go. See a little bit of string in there, and over 20 minutes you'll see a little thing start crystallising in the bottom, a little square thing. It'll gradually grow into one of them guys, logic matrix. So we're making a few of them, so that's what's going on there. So while that's cooking, and as far as I know, we can turn that off with a lever. So I just want to check that, because you couldn't do that before, last time I used one. Let's just try that out for size. Lever, put a lever there. So apparently it's supposed to turn that guy off. Or does it turn the other guy off? Let's turn this off. Nope. Okay, I don't know if this has got a chance of exploding, so I'll probably dismantle this once I've got what I need out of it. Just because I don't know if there's a chance of this exploding. I should probably save my server. Just save my world. I mean, my save game. Copy my save game is what I'm trying to say. Just in case it blows everything up. But well, we'll risk it for now. Right, I'll show you how to make that guy. It was quite complicated. Not complicated, a bit fiddly. So there's the final thing there. Iron bar easy, iron ingots, glass panes, lead easy. This fan, straightforward, is just 5 bits of iron. This motor, a bit more complicated. Take some more of them insulated coils that I just showed you how to make, and some iron and some lead, and this thing a magnet. Now the magnet is lead wire, iron, and a battery block. So there's a magnet there. These lead wires, really straightforward. They're just 3 bits of lead in a row. I had to make 2 lots of them, get 8. I made 16. I've actually got 16 still there, so I didn't actually use any up. So that doesn't use any up, does it? That's weird. Okay. And then the battery. It's asking for a medium charge one there, look, to make this. So what you actually make is you make a full charge one, and then you make that into a medium charge one, which is a bit weird. And that's just lead and iron, around a sulfuric acid. The sulfuric acid, 2 bits of gunpowder, a bit of coal, and a water bottle, or a bit of sulfur dust. So pretty straightforward, just a bit fiddly. Yeah, that's kind of weird. You put them with, you put the full one in between 2 of them, it takes some charge out of it, and then it looks like making that magnet took some more charge out of it. So I don't know how you charge them back up. I can probably charge that back up. Fasten it to this thing. Let's have a look. Well, there we go, look. That's 100% charged now. If you look there, if you put it in between two of them, they'll take it back down to medium. So, kind of weird. But, that's all we've got the motor anyway. So that's all the bits for the steam turbine. There's a magnet there. So that's how we've got the steam turbine going, and you should see a little bit of something happening in there maybe. No, I can't see anything yet. You can see a really tiny little square at the bottom of there now. Little pink thing. Well, that's that bit. Right. Well, that's cooking. We can get on with actually making some routers. Now we're going to need two. So let's just sling, I'm getting low on space, sling them in there, sling that in there, and that's still on 4, so we're on to our 4th stack of blaze powder. It seems expensive, but it's worth it in the long run. Right, so we've got 40 dark iron ingots. We're going to make 2 routers for now. The routers are a bit weird. I'm actually going to have to, let's nick one of them bits of blaze powder back. Oops. And we want some ender pearls. 2 ender pearls, 2 ender eyes, and 2 eggs. Let's make some ender eyes. There we go. So there's your recipe for your routers. Eyes of ender, ender pearls, eggs, and dark iron. So make 2 of them. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to sleep because we're going to be working outside. I don't want creepers sneaking up on me. So let's go sort that out. And once I've slept, we'll jump back out there. Now what a router does, it can put things into any inventory. So I say this is, I'm doing this for bees, but you can use it for all sorts of stuff. You can use this for rows of machines. You could have like a row of furnaces or whatever. What we're going to do, we want one of these to be touching. We'll go there. What's happened there? Well, I've got no, looks like I've got no, what do you call it? No texture. Oh, there it is. How strange. Okay, so I want 2 of these touching each other. Now, we need a couple of upgrades in these. What we want is, we want machine filter in both of them, and we want an extractor in this one. So machine filter we can't make yet because we need that logic matrix thing, and the other thing we want is ejector, was it, that I need? Furnace bandwidth ejector. Ejector is what I need yet. So I'm going to make one of these ejectors with some wood, piston, pressure plate, and some cobble. What we'll end up doing is this thing is going to want to be moved along, so I might as well do that now. Let's get the trusty portal gun out. Oh shit. Hang on, let me pick up my bag first. Where's my bloody... Yeah, my bag's back, okay. Well, I've got sausage fingers this episode, don't I? I keep doing things wrong. And let's make sure, get rid of that flour. So we're going to want G, pick that up. G, I'll put it back down again. There we go, want that next to that. And what we're going to be doing is extract from bottom side. See, that's why we need a machine filter. So it's pulled the queen out of there. So for now, where the hell's that gone? Imperial queen, industrious queen, cultivate queen. Okay, so that's, you saw there why we need a machine filter. Machine filter we can set it so it only pulls out the barrel. So we can't do anything really until we've got the machine filter on that. And what we're going to have a machine filter on there saying touch the barrel only, eject from the bottom, extract from the bottom of the barrel and eject to this machine, this router. And this router is going to be insert into alveolar blocks, which have got their own name, which I can't remember what they're called. But we'll see that when we get the machine filter in there. and that'll put frames into there. So what this is going to do is just going to suck frames out of there into these 4 frame housings, and if we connect these machines up using a block of an inventory, then it'll put frames into all 3 of these, so it'll keep these running nice and quick. It's kind of awesome. Routers really are useful. A bit fiddly, and a bit hard to get your head around, but once you get your head around them, they really are useful. Item filters only work on either extracting or injecting, I can't remember which one. Speed boost is good if you run into a lot of machines. Thoroughness means it'll fill up one machine before it goes into the next. Say if you've got a line of furnaces and you want to fill up the first furnace first. They work quite good on squeezers and stuff, centrifuges. When doing a lot of bees, one centrifuge ain't going to be enough, so pretty good for them. Bandwidth means that it'll do stacks at a time, which is pretty useful. And then of course ejector means it can pull something into the router and also eject it somewhere else. So ejector is what we're making now, isn't it? Let's do one of them. Pressure plate, bit of wood, piston, easy enough. So pressure plate, bit of wood, piston, 2 bits of cobble. Where's my cobble gone? 2 bits of cobble. I think that was it, wasn't it? So there, and there. That gets us our ejector. Thank you very much. And what we can do once we've got this set up is we can set a crafting pattern in the ME network for frames, and we can set up a item tesseract on top of this. That'll just put frames straight into there, straight from the ME network. I think that's how we do it. So we're using a couple of other things. So ejector. So what we do is we shift right click, and that's put the ejector in there now. So now we've got that thing there. See, that hasn't got one of them. Now, because that's got an upgrade in it, it's got that there, and we can cycle through how many upgrades in. And we want to eject to. So that's, I'm looking south there, aren't I? Eject to south. Because we're ejecting to out the south of this, I think. So eject to south. So if that gets put in there, actually ejected it into there. No, where the hell's it gone? Could be bloody anywhere. Well, I'm not sure what's happening with that. It's putting it somewhere though, isn't it? Okay, for now, let's ignore that, because I want to make sure I get these machine filters in first. It's quite complicated. See, purple is west, and I am facing west. But the purple side there is west, you see? So if you look at the machine there, it says purple. But purple's actually on the east side of it. So eject to west means it ejects into the... Okay, so we don't want south then. We want the opposite. So south would be... So we want north then. Is that right? Let's try with another flower, see where it puts it. Awkward. So I said this is a little bit awkward to get set up. Once you've got them set up though, they are really good. But it's a little bit counterintuitive with the way some of it's worded. What we can do though is we can put a lever on there, and that'll turn that off. So if we do get anything into there now, it should stay in there and not get ejected. So let's mess around with some more flowers. So I'm not sure where it's putting them flowers. If it's trying to put them into there, then it'll just it kind of annihilate stuff, these things. So you've got to make sure you're putting something that can validly go into the inventory you're trying to send it to. Otherwise, it will just get destroyed like them flowers seem to be. So I'm going to have to wait for the machine filters. Let's have a quick look how that's going on. I'll cut the camera and I'll be back when they're done. So how are we doing? As you can see now, there's certainly something in there, and it's getting there. If we look in the thing, it's over halfway done. So I'll be back when I've got 2 of these done, because I'm going to need 2. Back in a bit. Okay, I'm back, and the video's already over 40 minutes. Believe it or not, I try and make these videos 30 minutes each, and they're never 30 minutes. I've got my second logic matrix out of there. I've turned this off, and I've just took the steam turbine off for now. I'm going to put that out of the way for until I know a bit more about that mod. What we can do now is we can craft two of these logic matrix identifiers. I've got all the other bits we need here: silver and dark iron. Two machine filter upgrades, excellent. And just while I'm passing, them flowers ended up in the ME network, so it must have put them into the pipes or into the tesseracts, so they didn't get annihilated. And this thing with 33 blaze powder left is up to both 5 there. You see both 5, so what I can do now is get a drone and start the process with the drone. Like so, and then give these a maximum fertility, breed them a cycle or two to get some drones, pull that trait out. Then we've got a +5, we've got a both 5 trait for temperature tolerance, which is really nice. Right, so I'm going to rush through this because I want to get it finished, and you nice people don't want to spend all day watching me. Right, visit barrel, there we go. So that will only take things from the barrel, so I want to extract from the bottom of the barrel, extract, eject to north from bottom sides, and that should have put one into there, and it has, excellent. So that's worked, and this is putting frames into there. I'll show you how I've done that in just a second. So okay, let's go through this nice and slow. So this is extracting from the bottom sides, and it's only going to touch the barrel that it's attached to, and it's going to eject to the north, which is, it's going to put it into the north side of the block that it's touching. That's how it works. Seems a little bit backwards maybe, but it's alright, it's alright. And this is going to insert into, it can be any side, but we want it to connect to that one. Tile extra B alveoli. If we go through what else there is, we don't want it to go into anything else. We want it to go into that one there, tile extra B alveoli. Oops. I've cut that off. There we go. You can actually type into these as well if you really wanted to. Insert. No, it can be any side, but that's fine. So now, in theory, if we turn that on, it should put frames into all 4 of them, and it has. Wonderful. And now all we need to do is make it connect inventories. So what you can do is, as long as it's got an inventory there, now you see little pink graphics, that's passing things. Because we're machine filtered to only go into these correct tiles, then it can be anything there. So I'll just put chest there. But sometimes if you're not using machine filters, you'd want to use like a furnace and just block it with a button or something like that. Because if it wasn't using machine filters, then it'd be filling this up as well. But because we're using machine filters, we can just put chests there. I was going to put camo chests in from the Secret Doors mod, but it didn't seem to be working right. So now, got out all these guys, got frame housings in. This cultivated one doesn't so much need them. I'd actually like an alveoli with chocolate frames in for this, but we can't have everything we want. That's just got tesseracts on there, sets of frames. That channel 2 that used to be Quarry have sets of frames. And I'll show you how I'm doing that, and then I'm going to finish the episode. So now that's getting frames all the time. So these are running at a much greater capacity than the wear. And just before we go, really quick, all I've done is I've created a pattern for impregnated frames using 8 sticks and 1 string. And then up here we've put a tesseract, set to frames, and of course this one's set to send, the one set to receive. And this time in the export bus, what I've done is I've put a single impregnated frame in there, and this thing down here I've gone to always craft items. That's what we want, always craft items. So whenever an item is crafted, actually I want it, yeah, always craft items. So whenever it can, whenever there's sticks or string in here, and there's plenty of both. Well, there isn't no sticks. This should be making sticks. Are you making sticks? Everyone got seed oil. Okay, so it's a bit low on seed oil there. So as it's getting seed oil, it's making more. There we go. So at the minute we're limited on the speed of this squeezer. That's making sticks for us. And whenever there's enough sticks in there for it to craft a frame, it's making a frame and automatically sending the frame to the barrel next to the things over there. All good. So we've got automated frame insertion into our alveries. Great stuff. So that's going to be it for this episode. I hope I didn't jump around too much, and I hope it isn't too long and boring. And as always, I hope you join me next time. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers. Bye.